Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another session of Counselor University. My name once again is Emene Ifeanyi, and today I will be talking about financial numbers that drive very successful enterprises. Meaning, the numbers you need to understand in your business, no matter the business you are doing, whether you are frying akara or whether you are building a multi-billion naira company. These are, especially these three numbers, are numbers you must understand and watch carefully in your company for you to be successful. Now, as usual, I want to say thank you to Tony Elmel Foundation for helping us bring this wonderful program across to you. Now, a few years back, I used to run a very successful pharmaceutical company. We were doing turnovers of close to 30 million naira per year. But something amazing was happening in the company that I couldn't fathom then. After about a few years, we were doing very well. Our profit was growing, but I was finding it very difficult to pay my workers their salary. And I was wondering what was going wrong, because how can a very profitable business be struggling to meet his financial obligations to his debtors and to his staff? That made me to start to ask my accountant then, what is happening? He will show me the books, and when I look at the books, I could see that we are a profitable company, but still we are unable to pay our salaries on time. With time, I couldn't understand what would happen, and eventually that company collapsed. Now, it was at the point of collapse that I now started to attend some financial seminars. That was when I learned about financial numbers, key financial numbers that every company must watch and master for you to be very successful. Because it's possible for you to be very successful, for your company to be very profitable, and for the company to collapse. You know, there's something that people used to, financial experts used to say that a company might be running at a loss but still be operating, while another company might be running at a profit but collapse. So what I want to share with you are the things that once you watch can make your company very successful or make your company collapse. The first number you must watch is what is called the break-even point of your business. What does break-even point mean? The break-even point of your business is that particular amount that must come in every particular month that covers all your expenses. Now, what does it mean? It means that once you start your business, you must know the minimum amount of cash that must come in for you to be able to meet your obligations. Break-even point is that point where your business does not make a profit, but it does not run at a loss. For you to calculate your break-even point, you need to calculate all your fixed costs every month and divide that fixed cost with your profit margin. Let's say your turnover, your fixed costs, your salaries, your rent, your wages, your utility bills. Let's say everything comes out to about 1,000 naira in a month, and the profit margin you place on what you are selling, let's say, is 20%. It means that your break-even point is the 20% dividing 1,000, which means 0.2 dividing 1,000. That will give you approximately 1,200. It means that for you to be able to stay in business, 1,200 naira must come into your business every month. Break-even point is that's one number that any business owner must know. Once you understand your break-even point and you make sure that every time the cash that comes into your organization at end of every month hits your break-even point, you are guaranteed that your business will be sustainable. You know, most people fail to understand that break-even point is critical. And it's when you understand break-even point, it will tell you that it's important for you to drive down your fixed costs. Because let's say another company in the same line of business, their fixed cost is about 500 naira. They are doing the same thing, and their profit margin is, let's say their profit margin is still up. Let's bring down their profit margin to about 10%. If you now check it, 10% of the 500, it will give us about 550 naira. It means that for this business to be able to remain profitable, all it needs, despite the fact that his profit margin is lower, but all it needs for you to remain profitable is just 550 naira. Why this other one that is doing at a higher profit margin needs to make at least 1,200 naira for you to remain profitable. It means for you to be able to run a sustainable business, your fixed cost has to drop drastically. That is why you need to negotiate very well the salary of your staff. You need to make sure that the fixed cost, the running cost, the operating cost of your business is put at the minimum level especially when you're starting off. So that this will make sure that your break-even point is as low as possible. The next financial number you must master is your cash flow. What does cash flow means? Cash flow means the physical cash that comes into your business and the physical cash that goes out. Now, most people mistake sales with cash flow. Cash flow is different from sales. For instance, you can make a sale of 100,000 naira, but what the buyer actually pays you is 10,000. Now, your sales is 100,000, but what is your cash flow is 10,000. Now, what you now need to do every month, what you need to monitor every month is that your business has a net positive cash flow. What does it mean? Net positive cash flow means that the amount, physical cash that goes out of your business is less than the physical cash that comes in. When you have a net positive cash flow, it means that at any particular point, there's a physical cash available for you to meet any financial obligation that comes up. That is why a business might be making very wonderful sales, but they will go out of business because they are running a negative cash flow. Cash flow makes you to know what, especially the cash going out. When you are monitoring your cash flow, you study it to make sure that the cash that is going out of your business is not more than that which is coming in. Irrespective of the sales your people are making, cash flow helps you take your eyes off the sales and places on the cash that is coming in. Because you need to understand that cash is more like the lifeblood of your business. And just like the blood in our body, after every 120 days, the red blood cells in your body dies and new ones need to come up. For you to be able to remain alive, the number of cells that are created, produced by your bone marrow every month must exceed those that are dying, or else you find yourself lacking blood, and eventually your blood, there's nothing to feed your body, and the body will die. The same thing with your business. The amount of cash coming into your business every month must exceed the amount of cash going out. That is why you need to be very financially prudent. What it means that if enough cash doesn't come in, then there are certain obligations that you find a way of prolonging or postponing or delaying. For some of us who are not so, which was part of the reason, after analyzing my pharmaceutical business that collapsed, I found out that this was one of the major reasons why the business collapsed. Because every month we look at our sales and we're making good sales. So when some of our debtors come and say, "Sir, please, can you pay us?" We have some, despite the fact that some of their payment wasn't due, because we could see the sales that we're making, we are paying them. At the end of the month, we found out that the amount that went out of our business compared to the amount was more than the amount that came in. Meaning that because what came in was lower than what went out, it was difficult for us to pay our salary, and for very critical obligation that came due, we couldn't meet it. That is why, as a businessman, you need to study your business and make sure that every month the amount that comes in is always greater than the amount that goes out. It means that any month that your sales, your cash coming in is lower, then the amount that you are paying out, you will need to find a way of making it lower, or else your business will go out of business. Finally, what you also need to monitor is your sales cycle. What do I mean by sales cycle? Sales cycle is what is the number of days or months it takes your clients to pay you. I used to operate in the pharmaceutical industry, and then the average sales cycle is about 30 days. Meaning that within 30 days, most people will pay you after 30 days or 90 or 60 days. What this means that if your sales cycle is 30 days, then you need to structure what you pay to be above 30 days. Because if money is coming into you after 30 days, there is no way you can meet up on your obligations that you're supposed to meet if it's due within less than 30 days. And that is why when you understand your sales cycle, your effort has to be geared towards reducing your sales cycle. Meaning that you need to put incentive in place to encourage those people who will pay you earlier than necessary. For instance, somebody pays you cash on delivery. Find a way of giving, okay, because you pay on time, we are giving you 5%, 2% or 1% discount. And for those who stick to the 30 days delivery cycle or who exceed the 30 days, there has to be a penalty for them. The next thing you also need to monitor is your bad debt cycle. What do I mean by that bad debt cycle? You need to classify, because you've made a sale, doesn't mean that the cash is there. And because you've made a sale, doesn't mean that, and your cash hasn't come in, doesn't mean that your debtors or creditors will wait for you. When you don't fit a number of dates which we say, okay, this debt we classify it as bad debt, then you find it difficult for you to meet your obligation. Now, why is it important for you to set? Now, this applies for those, because most businesses are run based on credit. This applies for those who do credit sales. When you have set the number of days that you start to classify a debt as bad debt, it will help you say, okay, this is actual amount we know that we can actually get. Now, because you classify a debt as bad debt doesn't mean that you forgo it. It's more like banks. They classify a debt as bad debt. Doesn't mean that they leave those who are owing them. No, they still go after that. But they say, within reasonable time, this is the amount we know we are expecting. Your debt cycle is what you must understand, so that once you say, look, let's say you say your debt, you classify a particular sales as bad debt after 30 days. Means that by the 31st day, a senior manager goes now to start to follow up that particular debt. Your debt cycle helps you to do is that, you know that after when a debt exceeds this particular day, then a senior management staff starts to now take over the responsibility of recovering that debt. That way, you don't have accumulated debt outside, making you think that yes, you are making sale, why nothing is coming in. And finally, profitability. You need to understand the amount of profit margin you must place on your sales for it to be profitable. Don't judge yourself. So, okay, others are cutting costs. For instance, your profit margin will determine your break-even point. The higher your profit margin, the lower your break-even point. It means that you need to understand at what profit margin that will make your business very profitable. You know, a lot of people have gone out of business because they've not taken out time to study these financial numbers. I'm sure that for those more than 60-70% of people who are watching this video cannot tell us what is the break-even point of your business, do not know if they are running a negative or positive cash flow, and cannot even say what is their product cycle, and they don't even have a bad debt cycle. And for a lot of people, which I've even noticed, their profit margin are set arbitrarily. It means that when you set your profit margin arbitrarily, you wouldn't know when you are actually shortchanging yourself, because if what will keep you afloat is a profit margin of 30% and you set it at 25%, your break-even point has been affected. And it means that it's very difficult for you to break even. And you are making sales, but your debt is rising. These are numbers you must understand. These are numbers as a businessman who wants to build a sustainable business. These are numbers you must have at your fingertip. Which means if you have an accountant, every month your accountant must tell you how close are we to making our break-even point. Every month your accountant should be able to tell you, are we not in a negative or a positive cash flow? Every month your accountant should be able to tell you that this number of sales are about to go cross over and our bad debt days sales into bad debt. And then you need to know your profit margin that will make you profitable and also not price you out of the business. I know I have thrown out a lot of numbers to you, But I believe that especially in the time that most businesses are passing through, that is critical for you to get to know these numbers. And that is what we are trying to do at Counselor University. There are a lot of other numbers, financial numbers that you need to know. And this is what one of the things we teach in our financial courses at Counselor University. We want you to subscribe to register for one of our courses so that we can actually work with you. Now, what we do is we have a lot of videos like this that teach you some of these numbers, and our coaches will now work with you. We call you up and teach you this number personally, one-on-one, and ensure that you apply them in your business. For instance, we'll say, okay, what is your, calculate your break-even point. You go back and you calculate it. I will say now, okay, at the end of the month, we might say, what is your sales and are you at your break-even point? So that way you can actually start to see changes in your business. No, business is not like rocket science. I always tell people that for you to be able to run business, you just need to know 4 financial indicators. Your break-even point, your cash flow, your profitability, and for those who run credit sales, your bad debt cycle. Once you can master this thing and keep your eye on them, your business will be very profitable. I will thank you for listening to us, and we hope that you enjoyed this video. There are other videos too we have on this platform. We want you to watch other ones, and also subscribe, register for one of our courses, and one will call you, will follow you up. I want to say thank you again to our sponsor, Tony Elmel Foundation, for helping us bring this to you. And as we'll be shooting the next video, which is how to build wonderful partnership in your business, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you once again for watching, and God bless you.